What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy Kenny, man. I'm back one time for your mind. Sorry, I've been out for a minute, people. I had some family issues. Uh, Want to say R.I.P. to one of my favorite aunts. She passed away from COVID, so I kind of been going through the motions with that. But you know, just a couple of days and shit, I've been feeling under the weather and shit. I've been under the weather, feeling a little bit better now. Now my fucking allergies is acting up. So if I sound a little off, it's because I got my fucking allergies is acting up. Um, yeah, people, but I'm back, man. Um, Hope everybody had a blessed holiday. So, yeah, let's get into this shit, man. I'm gonna do a live stream later on today, man. I gotta get my hair cut, man. I look like fucking Wolverine out this bitch. Like I ain't had a haircut and fucking like it probably been about 3 weeks since I had a fucking haircut. So I'm like mad all fucked up. What up? Let me shout out to everybody in the building. What up, Nick? What up, LT? I gotta look through my shit. I haven't been looking through it, LT, but I'm gonna get back into looking at stuff. I haven't really been looking at a whole bunch of shit really lately and shit. And I appreciate everybody condolences and everything. For everybody sent love through Facebook. I appreciate everybody. Let's get into this. I'll be doing a live stream later, people. Like I said, I gotta get my hair cut and shit. I'm gonna get my hair cut, take the baby outside for a little bit, let her run around because it's gonna rain all fucking weekend. It's gonna rain starting tonight all the way till fucking Monday here. So I'm gonna let my daughter go out for a couple of hours a day, and then I'm gonna live stream probably like later on tonight. So make sure y'all tune in for that. And I'll be back down inside my studio this weekend. I just bought me a new PC, and I got some other stuff that I need to but that's basically it. I just got a new PC that I need to hook up. I got a spray. I don't know where the fuck these ants is coming from, but I got a spray. I sprayed a little bit, but I gotta spray some more. All right, clean up in here. So I'm not gonna be long on this live stream, but let's just get it in real quick, man. Oh man, it's been a minute, people. I might seem a little rusty. It's been a minute, people. Let's I'm gonna have to unhook all this shit, man. I don't know where the fuck these ants coming from. I haven't put down the ant shit yet, so I may have to spray it down, bleach in here, and all types of shit. But anyway, so oh yeah, and prayers go out to DMX too as well, man. DMX look like critical condition right now because he had an overdose plus he had a heart attack on with that as well. So and he didn't have no oxygen going to his brain for about 30 minutes. And shit like that don't look good when you don't have oxygen going to your brain for 30 minutes. It could have been half of that. It could have been 15 minutes. It's still not good for the brain. And so he's not doing so well. So hopefully prayers for his family and prayers for DMX. If, like I said, man, that shit right there, not having oxygen going to your brain, people don't usually come back from that. But we hoping and praying for a miracle that the brother come out of that. We gonna that's why I tell people all the time, man, give people their roses while they here, man. Show them love, give them, show them all the love and shit that they need. If I sound a little off, people, I'm coming off being sick, so you bear with me a little bit. That's why you're supposed to give people their roses while they here, so people know how much you love them. And I always tell people, if you give a lot of people and show them roses and give them love, you don't mourn as long and you don't hurt as long because you know that you showed them all the love and all the respect that they deserve when they was here. So people don't be exactly as hurt as they normally would be, because a lot of times people miss a lot of people and they grieve longer. A lot of it comes from guilt of shit that you wanted to say to that person, things that you maybe wanted to do with that person. You maybe didn't make up with the person, whatever it may be. It may be some type of guilt, and you didn't praise them enough. But that's why you got to give people their roses while they're here. So keep that as what it was. I think when I lost my aunt and shit, man, I felt guilty, and I mourned it in a certain type of way longer than I normally would. It was because of the fact it's not that I didn't show her roses while she was here. It's just that I didn't go around as much. And so that's my new one of my things that I learned from this, and I need to start doing is going around and see my family. If I just need to just see them here and there, me not going around as much as I don't. It ain't good for the spirit. Ain't good for you. It ain't good for your psyche either, and it ain't good for the people that you claim that you love. So I think that's why I mourned the longest I did. It's more of a guilt thing of not being around my family and stuff like that. I didn't even make the funeral because I didn't play around with the COVID. Plus I was sick, so I'm not going to go. So, and I don't do funerals very well anyway. So that's one thing. But anyway, that's why God forbid nothing happened no time soon. I told my wife, talking to her about this a while ago. Like, man, don't throw me no motherfucking funeral. Throw a motherfucking party for me. Go ahead, cremate me, sit me right on a motherfucking, right in the house, and throw a motherfucking cookout, and people gotta cry, let them cry, but have fun and cry. You know what I'm saying? Do the shit that I know I would do if I was alive. But anyway, let's get into this, man. We're not gonna be too long on this because it ain't too much to even say about this, because we know, we know that Republicans are lying, and I'm not trying to sit here and defend Democrats and shit like that, because Democrats lie too, but the blatant lie, just to be blatantly lying to the American people, like their intentions is not to harm the people and keep their power. See, I would respect the Republican Party if they be honest about what they're doing. Like, if they telling me, look, we're doing what we're doing to keep the power. You know what I'm saying? If they say that, shit, hold on, people, give me a second, man. These motherfucking, I may have to shut this live stream down because these motherfucking ants. That's some bullshit. I'm gonna have to spray all this shit down. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to wipe this shit down, spray this shit down. I have to move this table. But anyway, so let's get into this real quick because I need to get these motherfuckers. I mean, I sprayed it down, but I see little ants coming here and there, and I know it ain't because I got the door open, so that's bullshit. But anyway, but we know that I just rather for the Republicans to be honest about the situation of just saying, look, man, we don't like the way how Democrats won Georgia, and we're trying to make it hard for people of color, or people that are Democrats, or people that's independent that lean more to the left and don't like Republican ideology or policies or whatever. We're doing it for that. Because we don't want all y'all voting. We want to make it hard. Just be honest about this shit. This whole notion that you've been hypocrites about the shit and you lying to the people, acting like you doing this to make the election safer and shit like that. Listen, in a Trump administration said that we had the most secure elections in decades. Okay? Ever, basically. So this whole notion that they trying to make elections more secure and no cheating and all that shit It's all bullshit. It's all lie. You just don't want a whole bunch of people voting because, like I said, and I want to make this clear too. The reason that they keep saying woke too is it's a couple of reasons, but one of the main reasons they keep talking about the woke culture is because now people are really out here waking up, have woke up to how important it is to be involved in politics. How it's important to know. I mean, to vote. Listen, I don't knock nobody and shame nobody for it. To me, it's a choice. They keep talking about the First Amendment. Look, man, it's anybody's right to if they want to vote or they don't want to vote. That's not my or who they vote for. That's not my angle when I do this type of shit. When I come on here and I speak on these politics and I speak on voting and whatever the situation may be, I'm not trying to sway you any way, left or right. I'm just trying to make you look at the facts and the truth. Because the problem is that with people we live in America, we live in a cult. These people that are in power in the country has turned the people against each other, and it's not nothing new. It's just that now a lot more people are so-called woke or waking up to this shit of seeing that look what these motherfuckers are doing to us. Majority of the fucking times, the same white racist ass cracker people that live in these rural states and live in the slums or wherever, live in these trailer homes are no different from niggas that live in the hood. You get what I'm saying? Some of these poor neighborhoods with Latinos and Mexicans. It's no different than the hoods in some of these rural states. In the Chinese community, the Jewish community. Listen, it's a lot. We got a lot of shit in common. But the problem is that these powerful crackers has turned the people against each other. So when you do that, you divide the country. The country been divided. Like this whole notion, everybody, well, the country is so divided. Listen, the country been divided. What the fuck did you think the civil rights movement, the era of the civil rights movement, the country was divided? I know that some of you white folks don't see black people as human beings. I get it, but we was here. We human beings. Our people was here. We was marching and fighting and shit for our rights and civil rights and voting rights and shit like that. So it's not like the country was not never divided. The country always been divided. When slavery was happening, do you think the country wasn't divided? I mean, maybe not amongst some of your white ancestors, but some of your white ancestors was divided in certain type of ways. There was a lot of shit they was fighting each other over power and money and land and shit like that. So the country always been divided. So now we in 2021, people up here sitting like, I can't believe the country is so divided. The reason a lot of them are saying that is because they can't believe that a lot of people are waking up to the American hypocrisy and bullshit that goes on in this country. That's all the issue is. They're used to a lot of the American people, and I mean half of the country, because the other half has been known about policies and all this other shit that's been going on in this country for a long time. Half of the people in the politics, half of the people know about policies and care about voting rights and shit and certain things in the country, right? But the other half of the country has been asleep. The other half of the country has been don't pay attention, don't want to educate themselves in our political processes or how the country actually works. That's how half of the country is. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like people is it's not like the people have been woke for a long time about a lot of these issues, half of the country. And I'm not talking about minorities or black people in the country. I'm talking about all races of people having been woke. What is it? Yes, what is it?
What are you doing where?
Go upstairs and play your game. Go ahead. Mommy, you're ready to bring some ice cream. All right, go upstairs and watch TV. Play your game. So that's basically what this is. And so, you know, we gotta recognize the hypocrisy in what's going on in this country. They are turning the people against each other because of the elite politicians that always talk about Hollywood. All the motherfuckers are all in this shit together, and somehow, some way. So let's just get into this real quick, people. Mitch McConnell and his BS about Major League Baseball taking the All-Star game out of Georgia, which people complaining, well, they're gonna take all these jobs and we're gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars. And I'm talking about some Democrat people. Listen to me. It ain't no motherfucking way that it's gonna be actually $100 million. Even if that, they ain't gonna put it back into the state like they supposed to. But anyway, let's move on. Let's get into this.
Tonight, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell blasting corporations for taking sides in the voting law debate as Major League Baseball announces it's officially moving the All-Star game to Denver from Atlanta in protest of Georgia's new voting law.
Republicans buy stock and fly on planes and drink Coca-Cola too. So what I'm saying here is I think this is quite stupid to jump in the middle of a highly controversial issue, particularly when they got their facts wrong.
First of all, and let's just be honest about what Mitch McConnell said. Mitch McConnell should be ashamed of himself, and you're a dinosaur. Nobody's falling for that okie doke bullshit you talking about. Of all of a sudden, just think about the hypocrisy and how stupid that he thinks that the people are. See, it's one thing that everybody, like I said, this is what I'm talking about. That's why they mad at the so-called woke culture. If people are understanding that Mitch McConnell is a dinosaur and he's out of touch and he really thinks that the American people are stupid. Let me explain something to people very, very clearly about Mitch McConnell and what he just said of his bullshit. Mitch McConnell is the same person that is out there every other day or every day that got people on the phone, his staff members, or he on the phone, or other Republicans out there getting money from these corporations. These same corporations. You think that everybody in the fucking Major League Baseball, all the owners and shit are Democrat, woke Democrats, socialists? Fuck no. They are Republicans. Okay? They have donated to people like Mitch McConnell and them. Okay? Let's get that straight. And it goes the same way. It's the same thing with the NFL, with the soccer leagues, the golf leagues, the basketball league, the NBA basketball league, the college, all these motherfuckers. These ain't all socialist woke people, okay? These are motherfuckers that are stuck on Republican stupid too, okay? So Mitch McConnell is full of shit. And like I said, he thinks that people are stupid. The regular people in America are stupid because nobody's believing that Mitch McConnell all of a sudden, out of all these years and decades that he's been in office, been taking money from these same corporations, that he's all of a sudden mad at them. They need to stay out of politics. Nigga, Mitch McConnell, you brung You did a lawsuit so they could be in, so they can donate money to to politicians like you, to have them in the political process. Listen, this is how stupid anything is, just to make it very simple. Listen, people, I told you he think the people are stuck on stupid. Do Mitch McConnell realize that people like me, that's so-called woke, understands that we know that the corporations, the big businesses, the Hollywoods that he called the elites, that so-called woke socialists, runs the country. They pay them to create bills. These corporate America elites pay Mitch McConnell and Democrats, Republicans and Democrats, to create bills, policies, tax cuts for them. Because this is about money and power. This ain't about giving. Listen, let me just explain something to you about American politics. American politics ain't about the people. They don't give a fuck about the regular folks. They only care about money and power. Power and money. They don't give a fuck about none of that other shit. They don't give a fuck about your health care. They don't give a fuck about you getting better minimum wage jobs. They don't give a fuck about making sure you can live a comfortable lifestyle. They don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They don't care. But this is the same dude that's sitting here now talking about you shouldn't get involved, the corporation shouldn't get involved in politics when they got it wrong. Oh, so if they got this right and they sided with you, then they're qualified to be in politics now. See how stupid that he thinks the rest of us are? And Mitch McConnell, then you backtrack. You came back and you backtracked later and you talked about, oh, well, I'm not talking about them giving money to us. No, they can do the money, but they can't take money away, or they can't make political stands. They can't speak on issues. Only thing they can talk about, only thing they can do for us politics is give us the money and let us do it. Mr. McConnell, let me explain something to you, and hopefully some of these corporations understand this. Now one of those fucking Republicans run nothing, or Democrats, they run shit. You run the goddamn country. All the corporations, all the big businesses, Hollywood, the elites, that they all of a sudden they want to trash now. Y'all run the country. They pass bills and laws because of y'all. Now, I may not have to tell these corporations that because they may already know that. But Mitch McConnell is all of a sudden, he look like he's getting slow. Like he's slow out this bitch, or he's losing it. All of a sudden, they need to stay out of politics. Mitch McConnell, we've been saying you need to get the fuck out of politics and stay out of politics for the last decade. Because we don't feel that you're qualified to be up there talking this nonsense bullshit. But anyway, let's move on with this fuck boy. I was getting ready to call him the R word, but no, I'm going to call this motherfucker mentally challenged. Something wrong with this motherfucker. People, you going to make fun of, his disability. This motherfucker don't give a fuck about your kid having a disability. He gives less fuck. I don't have to be nice to evil motherfuckers. This motherfucker called himself the Green Reaper. I don't give a fuck about Mitch McConnell and his disability. Every time that bitch walk, I hope he fall. Oh, mentally challenged ass motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, this motherfucker think we stuck on stupid.
Issue, particularly when they got their facts wrong.
Yet the hypocrisy is palpable for McConnell. He has spent years, a career, fighting to raise money from corporations for political causes. And in fact, he's filed lawsuits to allow more corporate money in politics. And here's what he said in 2012.
But let's be very clear. No individual or group in this country should have to face harassment or intimidation or incur crippling expenses defending themselves against their own government simply because that government doesn't like the message that they're advocating.
Well, McConnell doesn't like the message they're advocating now, and he is, of course, the most senior Republican in Washington. He is
and that's all that's about. He doesn't like the message that's being sent now because they're not giving they're not siding with his message. This is what this all is about. You see anything on Fox News or any of these right-wing social medias platforms or whatever mainstream right-wing platforms, that's all they bitching about. That's what they mad. That's what they mad at the Major League Baseball for, any sports entity. They not siding with their stupid asses. People looking at, listen, let's just talk about this bill and what they're trying to push all around the country. Listen, the only reason, and I'm gonna make this clear again, the only reason that they changed the law in Georgia or anywhere else in the country where they trying to change these laws to make it harder for people to vote, or all of a sudden lying and talking about we trying to make it safer. They're lying. Even if that's true, the only reason they're even doing it is because Trump lied about the election. Nothing was wrong. Listen, let me just explain something to people. Nothing was wrong with any of the Republicans that won their seats. It wasn't no voter fraud. They didn't really talk about it. They only talked about the states that Trump lost and Biden won, that made him become the president, where they thought that it was a Republican state and it was no way impossible that Joe Biden could win that state. Let me just explain something to people to make this very, very more clearly. It was no way impossible in my mind that I thought that America would choose a bona fide idiot, a true domestic traitor to the country like Donald Trump, and put him in office, and you still see people out here praising this idiotic modern day Nazi. He's a modern day Hitler. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. The whole Republican Party that sides and ride with this motherfucker, you are a part of that shit. I didn't see this coming. I didn't believe that they would do this shit, but I shouldn't have been. Because we already had Nazi-ass, racist-ass presidents way before. People forget about slavery, forget about George Washington and all them. They was baby Hitlers, nigga. They was genociding the black community, the black people in the country. They did it to the Native Americans. So this whole notion that people want to sit out here and say you cannot say our forefathers was like Hitler. What? Actually, believe it or not, I believe the so-called forefathers was actually worse than Hitler. The fuck you mean? But I guarantee you, if the forefathers was black and they did this shit to white people, I bet you white people would be like, them forefathers was worse than Hitler. They would say the same exact shit that I'm saying. So this whole notion people got amnesia about fucking American history in this country is bullshit. But I could not see that they would let this stupid motherfucker be president. But he became the president. Yes, people were like, how the fuck he become president? And then people started looking at the electoral college. We're like, hold on. People didn't listen. I do not think people assume that it was illegal people voting. I don't think the Democrats did that. It was illegal people voted for Trump. Nobody said that. Motherfuckers was like, hold on, man. How the fuck Hillary Clinton had 3 million more votes than this motherfucker, and she still lost. People started second guessing and wondering, we need to get rid of this motherfucking electoral college because he shouldn't be president. He's not even qualified. We don't like Hillary, but at least she qualified. This motherfucker wasn't even never a fucking community leader, and he became the president. This motherfucker. They tried to say that Barack Obama wasn't qualified. He was a senator before. He was in the community. He was a community leader. He's been in politics for a couple of years. He's a scholar. But this motherfucker Trump ain't been nothing but a fucking a scam artist all his whole life. And them fucking racist. And he became the president. And motherfuckers like, oh, what the fuck going on? We need to look at this electoral college shit. Like I said, do I believe Russia had something to do with Trump being it? Listen, man, you can throw millions of fucking ads and brainwash stupid people all the time. That's not, to me, I don't believe that's illegal. I don't give a fuck Russia get involved in our elections as long as they ain't fucking with the you know, where people go to the election booths and shit, they ain't fucking with the results of it. Like, you get what I mean? As long as they ain't into that, I don't give a fuck they putting ads out and putting out misinformation through the internet. If people are stupid enough to believe in that nonsense shit, then that's on them. It ain't about Russia. It should be about you. That you will believe the nonsense. So the whole Russia shit, I really didn't give a fuck about. Only thing I gave a fuck about is I care because if Barack Obama would have did some of the shit that Trump did with Russia, or some of his people did with Russia behind the scenes of an election or before an election of a lot of shit that came out, Barack Obama would probably most likely got impeached. A whole bunch of people, more people would have went to jail. That was my whole thing. But as far as that other shit with Russia, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I don't give a fuck any country do it. We do it to other countries. We go around and fuck with other countries. So I don't fuck with their elections. We go to their countries and clear out everything in that bitch and try to rebuild that shit to a democracy that we say that it should be. Who the fuck are we? And then motherfuckers mad because Russia doing this over here fucking with elections? Nigga, please. The hypocrisy of America bullshit. But nobody was saying people was voting, illegal immigrants was voting for Trump. Nobody was saying that but Trump. Even when he won, he was still bitching and complaining about because he lost the popular vote. He was still bitching and complaining about this shit. Lying about shit. How are you a sore winner, nigga? I heard of a sore loser before, but a sore winner? You won, and he still was complaining about it. And his minions and all of them was still running around. Can't believe there's got to be something illegal going on. No, it wasn't. Why all of a sudden there's a problem when the Republican win, they still mad. But the reason they were still mad because they had a fucking child leading them. A man-child leading them. And still is leading their party. And I hope and I pray they still support. I hope Trump ass go to jail. And when he go to jail and they roll this Trump wave for a long, they're gonna ride it till this wheel fall off this bitch. They gonna ride it, people. That's why they continue. No, we can't get rid of Trump. I hope Trump ass go to jail. And their whole fucking party will get destroyed. Because now your so-called leader of your party is now a fucking criminal, which he already was a criminal, but he got that money. And the reflection, the skin color. to keep him out of jail. This man been a scam artist and a fucking criminal his whole motherfucking life. And all of a sudden, motherfuckers are like, how is he? He just a good businessman. So a good businessman is to be a scam artist? Think about this, people. George Floyd was going to jail before the police killed him, murdered him for a counterfeit 20. He was going to jail and was going to get charged for it. Donald Trump scammed millions of people from their money from a fraud-ass school that he so-called created. And all he got was a slap on the wrist and made him pay the money back. But George Floyd was going to actually get charged if they wouldn't have killed him. Think about that shit. They didn't charge him with fraud. They didn't charge Donald Trump with fraud and arrest his punk ass. The district attorney ain't say, you know what? No, that's fraud. We got to go arrest his ass for fraud. They did none of that. But George Floyd, oh my God, he did drugs, he had a criminal background and all this other shit. He did a counterfeit 20. And he dies. And Donald Trump, orange ass, is still running around here running amok. Talking about he got cheated and all this other shit. It's oxymoron that this motherfucker's out here pretending that he got cheated of an election when he actually is known for cheating and stealing money from people that were supporters of him, of a school. And it's still information coming out how he's scamming the Trump supporters of their own money that they donated to him. But somehow, some way, we still keep giving this well, I don't say we, the American elite, still continue to give this motherfucking red devil, this orange devil, the fucking pass. People, it would be non-stop if we found out. I mean, I don't give a fuck if it's right-wing, left-wing media. It'd be non-stop coverage of this shit if this was Barack Obama. These same fucking Republicans, question the IQ of Barack Obama's, but they don't question Donald Trump's IQ? Well, I guess criminals respect criminals. I guess that's what the Republican Party is doing right now. But anyway, let's move on.
Part of the government. So I guess when he doesn't like the message, it's okay to intimidate the corporations. Out front now, longtime Republican donor Dan Eberhart. Also, he is the CEO of Canary, an oil field services company. Also with me, of course, are Dana Bash. So, Dan, what do you make of what McConnell is doing here?
Well, I think McConnell is an expert at draining corporations' coffers, but he wants these companies on the Republican side of the fence, or at the very least, giving to both parties. So the fact that corporations are parroting Democratic talking points and siding with the Democrats has got to scare Mitch McConnell his pocketbook to death, frankly.
So Dana, McConnell was asked today whether companies should give up.
And see, and let's think about this. The corporations are moving to listen, they may not agree with everything that the left is policies wise and the ideology and the shit that they say all the time. But money talks. And for some odd reason, the left in the country is understanding that more and more every day. And they're telling motherfuckers, look, we will stop supporting you. You think, listen, it's more of us good people than it is them bad motherfuckers that go out and support you. And we will fucking stop supporting your fucking products. Your corporation. Listen, I told y'all, motherfuckers be wanting to sit out there and protest and march and protest, march protest and all that other shit. Nigga, you need to hit them in the pockets. listen, you can say whatever. People can get mad at the civil rights movement that they was nonviolent, nigga. That shit of them boycotting businesses and not taking transportation hurt the bottom dollar, and they was consistent in it. That's what. Listen, I keep saying this. I don't know why people still watch the NFL. They haven't changed they behavior. Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. Motherfucker say, well, it only ain't just about Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, listen, 50% it is about Colin Kaepernick. He's still being mistreated. And it actually was different from Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali is more of a solo act. So he could take that position that he took. I mean, it took guts and shit that he did to do it. But Colin Kaepernick, it's a team thing. But the quarterback is the most important player on a position on the thing. What is it? All right, get a sucker or something out the cabinet. Not mine. She wrote us that she ain't here. But so at least he did. He was out for like 2 years, I think, because he got they arrested him and they suspended him and shit from the boxing organization or something like they couldn't get his license. But Colin Kaepernick been out of the league for almost 6 years. And he's still in his 30s. He's probably the same age as Aaron Rodgers right now, nigga. Like, come on, man. Nobody should be still watching football, man. Look, economically, money-wise, we should not be still supporting this shit. But motherfuckers talking about the black brothers. Well, those niggas took a stand. We should take a stand. They chose. They care about more of their finances than others. They care more about their own families than other families. They listen. They chose a side. They did what they wanted to do. And listen, I'm not mad at them, but I'm just saying, hey, we need to do what we got to do. If we don't, listen, a lot of that, they'll come around because if we don't watch and we don't put our money into that shit, support their merchandise and support those tickets that go into those stadiums, they going to have to cut some of those niggas. And now some of those niggas ain't going to get some of those big contracts. They'll come around. Money talks. But like I keep telling people, you have to be consistent. You have to be willing to take a risk. And what's taking a risk of not supporting something? A fucking football game. Stop watching it. Stop buying their merchandise. Stop going to spending money on their tickets that cost buku money. That you could be taking that money and putting into a youth football team. Go buy new jerseys or buy new equipment for the little kids. Go to their games, support the little kids in your community instead of these motherfucking organizations. Take your money somewhere else. But I told you, people attention span and a lack of self-awareness and a lack of humanity in the country, they don't give a fuck. Whatever makes them happy. We live in a selfish ass country. And I'm not just talking about white folks. I'm talking about all colors of people in this country. To these corporations understand, hey man, we not supporting your shit. Coca-Cola, nigga, we don't buy Coca-Cola over here, nigga. We buy something else. We need to be drinking more water any motherfucking way. Getting fruits and shit, drinking smoothies and shit. Shit, you ain't missing out on no motherfucking sugary soda and shit that's gonna probably fuck you up in years to come anyway. Health-wise. Now listen, I know I couldn't be a slave back in the day, but I damn sure could have been in the civil rights movement. But then I maybe couldn't because some fake, you put your fucking hands on me, we fighting. So I don't know if I can live the civil rights era. I don't know if I could be out there with Martin and them marching and shit, motherfuckers spraying water hoses and dogs and beating me with billy clubs and trying to hang me and shit. Nah, I don't know about all that. Anyway, let's move on, man. But like I said, this is all about money and power. They don't give a fuck about nothing else. They don't care about the people. The Republican Party is showing you that. I have a lot of issues with the Democrat Party, but not like the fucking Republican. These motherfuckers are cruel and they don't give a fuck. They are making it known. They are not blatantly coming out and saying we about money and power, but they damn sure is showing it. They damn sure out here changing laws and policies to show you that they don't give a fuck about your votes unless you agree with them. And they will take away your votes and make it very hard for you to vote if you don't vote Republican. If that ain't no fucking dictator type shit, if that ain't baby Hitler shit, I don't know what to tell you.
Donations, right? Just to be consistent, right? If he's saying they shouldn't play a role in politics, then hey, how about cutting off those donations? But as Dan's saying, the expert in draining corporate coffers, you said it in a more memorable way than I said it, Dan. Let me just play Mcconnell for you.
Get your stepladder and get.
I'm not talking about political contributions. Most of them contribute to both sides. They have political action committees. That's fine. It's legal. It's appropriate. I support that.
So Danny,
right, so he's okay with them giving their money, but he don't want them to be out there saying shit to go against them. But he said both parties get the money. So what is the problem that they're giving both of y'all money, but for this particular policy, they siding with the left? So now you mad at the corporations. You telling them they shouldn't have a say now. How is that? This shit it's not even confusing. It's stupidity. And it's almost, they think that we are stupid. They really truly think that we are stupid, people. It's no way impossible that they think that we this stupid. It's okay to take their money. And if I'm a corporation, I'm insulted by what Mitch McConnell said. If I'm a corporation and I donate to that party, oh, it's okay to take my money, but I shouldn't speak on an issue that I have a problem with. But you'll take my money, though. You want me to just shut up and give my money? Come on, man. Like I said, we know the difference between motherfuckers. If you got money, you got power. If you got power, you got some money. Tonight, did you get it? What are you doing? Don't ask me what I'm doing. What you doing? All right, well, get the lollipop. Taking you too long. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh. You get the lollipop? Huh? Okay. She in there playing video games like my wife do and shit. They in there playing the fucking video games, so that's all she do, man. Play video games and shit. Anyway, yeah, man. If I'm a corporation, I'm insulted by Mitch McConnell, man. Ain't no motherfucking way you tell me that it's okay for you to take my money, but I don't have no say into the politics that you telling me my money is going to. You suppressing the people that help me make my money. You making it hard for them to vote, but I have no say. But the only time I have a say if I agree with you. What type of shit is that? Listen, man. Oh, I don't get it, man. Let's move on, man.
No problem with political contributions continuing to flow, but he has a problem when corporations speak out not on his side?
Yeah, well, that's what it appears.
And
Look,
sorry, go ahead, Dana. I'm sorry. I didn't realize your names were so
That's
similar.
okay. Our
Dana,
names
go
are
ahead.
very similar.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So when you go back to the argument that Mitch McConnell made, because he isn't just saying this now. I mean, he was and still is at the tip of the spear, the number one advocate for Citizens United, which opened the floodgates of corporate America being allowed to spend unlimited sums of money in campaigns. The argument that he made was that it's a First Amendment right, that they should be able to speak out and to be a part of the process. So it's really hard to understand why that is a right, and they don't have the same right to speak out when they decide for their own within their own companies. In this case, it's the MLB deciding as a company that we want to make a First Amendment statement and say, we don't like this new Georgia voting law. We think it's restrictive, so we're going to move.
So corporations are people until
It's just very hard to make the yes, exactly.
they're people when it comes
No,
to
it's not what she wanted to say is very hard for people to for me to understand. It's not hard to understand. They want it both ways. They want it. You can continue to donate money to me, but I don't want you to say nothing unless you agree with me. And if you don't agree with me on any of these policies that we created on the right, then you shouldn't say nothing. But you can keep giving me your money. They want it both ways. That's all this is about. I have no problem with, listen, I have a problem with corporations having so much more power over the people. But I believe, of years of doing this shit, of being in the political shit. What up, OG? Being involved and educating myself on politics for the last couple of years, to actually know what actually goes on. I have a problem with corporations. I don't think corporations have that much power on these politicians like people think, because the corporations are only probably, most likely probably 1-2% that acts, because they got the most money. It seems like they got the power. It's about the votes. It's about who we're voting for to put these people in these positions to where they're taking this money from these corporations and they only doing policies for the corporations. They're not doing policies for you, the person that actually voted them in there. It's more of us that vote for these politicians and have more of an effect if they're going to be in office or not. Yeah, the money is what it is. But we got to understand, as American people, we have to understand, if these motherfuckers are not passing bills for us, then they're not doing their job and they shouldn't be in there. And I don't give a fuck what their talking points are, what their ideology, what they lie about, with religious rights and First Amendment gun rights. And fuck all that shit. Because none of that has went away. Your gun rights haven't gone away. You still can get a gun. I keep saying this as well. In some of these other states, if we want some gun laws to change, you want it to be more, or people make it easier for people to get guns, like down in the South and shit. You want to get guns? You can hold on, people. You can what's the name? You could get people that's in office that could change those laws to make it easier for people to get guns and make so we won't have stricter, not stricter gun laws, but not to make it so hard for people to get guns. Because in some states it's very hard to get guns. Shit, I don't even think you can get it's very hard to get a gun. I know it's not in Maryland, it's not as bad as New York, but you can get people in office to change that shit. Just like we can get people in office to get these type of people like Mitch McConnell, the Nancy Pelosi's, all these motherfuckers that take corporate money and only pass laws for them, you can get them the fuck out of there. You can vote them the fuck out of there. Stop pretending that your vote don't count because of the corporations putting money in their pockets. They can have all the money in the world, but that don't mean that they're gonna get all the votes. But if you continue to keep voting for these same people to have them in office, you can get the same results. Like I said, I have no problem with any group of or people that's on the left that continue to keep pushing Joe Biden to change his ways and policies. That's that you ask for a certain shit. He's in office because he promised certain shit. And if he ain't gonna do Joe, his ass got to go in 4 years. That's all. But you don't stop, continue to put pressure on them. And that's usually what happens on both sides of politics, Republicans and Democrats. Motherfuckers that vote for these Republicans and Democrats, they stop putting pressure on them. Just let them run amok. That's what happened to Trump. The Republicans allowed that the elite Republicans, that politicians that's in the Senate and Trump and them run amok. And I just want to make this very, very clear. And I'm not talking about all religious people. I'm talking about a lot of these white evangelical motherfuckers and some of you black conservative evangelical pastors or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. Some of you motherfuckers are part of the problem. Trump ran amok. He used, how the fuck do you, listen, this is why people in the country are not as religious as they used to be. Because the people that are religious in the country has turned to hypocrites. They pick and choose shit out of the Bible. And they get behind politicians that pretend that they're religious. Listen, people, I'm not a religious person, but if I'm in some type of position of power, I don't have a problem with sitting down with religious people and talking about policies and issues that they need to see. We're going to disagree and we're going to agree on some things. And let's not get this misunderstood. A lot of these evangelicals and pastors, a lot of them motherfuckers are the 1% too as well. They have businesses, they are part of the corporations, they are a part of the elites. These motherfuckers don't have no job. No job. They worth millions of dollars, they don't work no jobs. Think about that shit. I told you, I grew up in an era of religious people that the first pastor that when I first believed in God or whatever, or religion or like that, back in the day when I was young, I had a pastor, God rest his soul, he passed away, but he owned a church. Yeah, people gave their tithes and shit like that, but he had a 9-to-5 job. He had a 9-to-5 job. And I respected that man. He was one of the real reasons why I believed in religion at the time. But of course, years later, he got greedy. That's why I tell people, I don't like the fame shit is okay, it's cool. You know, I don't really give a fuck about that. And I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be like, you know what I mean? Because money can change you. Power can change you. Especially when you start engaging with people that you normally wouldn't engage with. But the bigger you get, the bigger you are, you have to start engaging with people that you most likely disagree with, and most likely morally that you disagree with, that's not on your level. And before you got in that type of atmosphere, you normally wouldn't even be sitting down talking to some of these people or being amongst them. But comes with being in the spotlight or coming with certain power and money, comes with certain responsibilities that you may need to have to sit down with other people because you ain't the only person in the world that, you know what I mean? You got to deal with others. But people lose themselves. I always keep telling you, ain't nobody 100 all the time. Everybody is a little funny acting, nigga. Everybody. And it all depends what positions you in or how shit is going on in your life, whatever the situation may be. Everybody funny style. Nobody's 100%. Can I get out of that back room? I'm gonna lock that door now, so you can't go back in that room. But yeah, man, I just wanted to get that out there, man. Mitch McConnell and the Republican Party, they're running around talking that bullshit. You got to look at the bill. I read the bill. I see everything in that motherfucking bill. And like I said, you only created this bill is mainly because of the simple fact that you, what's the name? You stay out of that back room. It ain't no on. Stay out of that back room. You know mommy don't like you back there. Now, bye. Go in your room and play your game. Don't go in that back room no more. Because soon you break something, you know what's gonna happen. That's gonna be your butt. Homegirl, she done broke or lost 7 remotes that we done bought for her in her room, nigga. I can't even find half of the motherfucking remotes that she done lost. Shit. She like to touch shit and lose shit. I don't know what the fuck that's about. As responsible as I think she is because she know how to work and use certain shit, I keep having to remind myself that she's still only 5 years old and shit. So she gonna be doing what kids do, lose shit. Gotta keep an eye on her as mature as she is. Yeah, people, I had to get that out, man. We, I don't even. The Republican Party is sickening to me. They're disgusting human beings to me. And like I said, the Republicans are sickening human beings, and the Democrat Party is the weakest human beings in the country. They weak. They are weak as shit. Because I wouldn't be waiting around wanting to have conversations with idiotic people, with disingenuine, devilish type of people. Like, why are we having a conversation? You're not going to be genuine about the conversation. You're not going to be genuine about trying to come together to boil down to where we can come to a compromise on a bill. You're going to be disingenuine about it. I should have been got rid of that motherfucker filibuster and all that shit. Mama say, well, it's going to be a time that the Republicans, they already done used it already. And if they're going to use it in the future, they're going to use it regardless. It doesn't matter what the fuck the Democrats do it or not. You know what I'm saying? And if you get rid of the filibuster or whatever the shit is, then if you make good policies in the time that you do actually have the power to actually create policies, the American people gonna vote you back in and be like, he's doing a great good motherfucking job. I love what he's doing. I told you that, listen, the one thing I do like about the Democrat Party is that they at least got ideas to move to the future. Now, you got some old dinosaurs in there that want to keep shit the same a little bit, Joe Biden and shit, but he can get pushed. And that's the thing that I like. I don't fuck with Joe, but I'm just saying. That's what I love about the Democrat Party. But the fucking Republican Party, ain't no changing them. Only time those motherfuckers change, unless something happened to them, like, with the whole gay thing. The only reason they changed their mind on the gay shit because it started to come out a lot of the Republicans had a lot of gay motherfuckers, kids and shit. But look what they doing. They back doing the same old shit again. And now they going at the transgender. Nigga, don't they understand that you fucking with the LGBTQ community, the alphabet people? How far you think that's going to go? But they back to the same old tricks. What the fuck do you think? Okay, a dude that want to transition over to a woman. So what do you think about a gay dude that like another gay dude? It's the same exact shit, really. Somebody in the motherfucking relationship feel like a man or a woman, but they just attracted to the man. The man may be a little bit, one man may want to feel a little bit more feminine than the other. I don't know how far they think they can take this fucking homophobic shit. I just don't get it. I don't give a fuck. Listen, all the alphabet people out there in the world, listen, I got my certain issues with some of y'all shit, just like y'all got certain shit problem with black people and other people. But I'm not discriminating. I don't give a fuck what you do. And that's your sex life. I don't give a fuck. You want to kiss a dude, have sex with a dude, you want to have sex with a, I don't give a fuck. That ain't what I do, so why do I care? Nobody should be giving a fuck about with anybody. I don't give a fuck if you're heterosexual or homosexual or whatever. Nobody should give a fuck about what's happening to anybody in their personal bedroom activities anyway. Fuck you worrying about? Unless you're a porn star or something, nigga. I don't give a fuck about your shit. Even if you're a porn star, I don't care. I'm just watching for the entertainment. Don't give a fuck. And listen, I listen, and don't get me wrong. I understand what some people have a problem with some of the gay community about, like with children. I get that shit. I listen. I truly believe in letting your kid blossom to whatever they feel like they want to be when they grow up. It's your responsibility to put morals and educate your kids about life. Okay? Now, it's your kid decision to do whatever the fuck they gonna do when they get older. Like I said, we don't support people like we have parents out here that still support their own kids' bad behavior of criminal shit. So I'm just trying to figure out, like Matt Gaetz' daddy. This motherfucker got arrested for DWI. His father went out of his way to get that shit expunged and the charges dropped. But his son committed a crime. But these are the same people that got a problem with how people are raising their kids if they want to raise them gay, transgender, or whatever. You got a problem with that. But you continue to support your criminal ass kids. See, Republicans are full of shit. And anybody that got a problem with anybody that's gay or some shit like that, you need to take a good look at your motherfucking self. Nobody cares that these people out here want to be gay. I don't give a fuck. If you care, you shouldn't. It's a waste of energy. It's a waste of time. And it doesn't really affect you. Listen, ain't nobody being stupid or like we gonna sit out here and just support our kid of just being a bad kid or domestic terrorist or criminal or some shit. Nobody's saying that, or gangbanger or no shit. The parents shouldn't accept that shit. But god damn it, your kid dealing with sexuality. Like, come on. Nobody, listen, man. Listen, to each his own. That's why I listen. I try not to tell people how to raise their kids. Everybody has, as long as you ain't abusing the motherfucking kid and shit like that, or molesting the kid or something like that, I don't give a fuck how people raise their kids. Now, if you got your kid growing up to be a hateful, racist motherfucker, then that's on you. It's consequences for you and your kid. These people don't have no motherfucking no stop mode or slow the fuck down or mind your business. I know what it is called. Mind your business mode. People don't have that. Mind your business mode. You gotta get in that mode of minding your motherfucking business, man. Everything ain't for you. Everything ain't for your opinion. Everything ain't for you to say that what you don't like. Listen, I don't like a lot of shit, man, but I don't be going out all through the country and shit. Wherever I go, I don't like that shit. I don't like you. I don't like the way you look. I mean, who does that? You two girls holding hands. I don't like that. Is it your business? If they comfortable enough to roll around and wear dresses and transform over to men and women, that's on them. Nobody gives a fuck. These days that people care about, these stupid things that people care about is annoying to me. Shit that people should worry about, they lie about or they turn a blind eye to. Or they pretend that the shit doesn't exist. And I always notice this. People that continue to focus on other people's issues usually are the people that has issues. A lot of them. They're usually the ones that have these have their own fucking personal issues that they going with, and they deflect by fucking with your issues or pretending that your issues doesn't exist. That's why I tell people this all the time, man. I don't like people, man. I don't like a lot of people, man. I just don't like people. I don't like people. A lot of people's energy. The energy is off. It's very weird to be around people that got that type of energy, man. That just that narcissistic, fucking inhumane ass energy. It's bad for my spirit. I was watching some shit, and I'm gonna get out of here with this, people. I got some shit. I need to shave and get myself together, man. I'm gonna do a live stream tonight. I'm gonna get the fellas in later on tonight, and we're gonna chop it up. But yeah, man. I watched some shit, and it was in Canada. And right before I did this live stream, I was doing something. I think I was fixing my daughter's something to eat, and I was watching this shit. And in Canada, Asian couple, older couple, they called the police. I guess the whole situation was about somebody moving into one of their properties. Something went wrong. It was more of a landlord issue, or something happened, a deposit or something happened. You know how that shit, normal shit. Like normal shit that people go through when they go through renting out apartments or rooms or whatever with people that own houses or buildings. That shit happens. It's normal shit. But this Asian couple took this shit to the extreme of calling the police. And that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Right? People talking about you can't call the police on black people. Bullshit. Okay? The problem with calling the police on black people is when you lie to the police about the issue. That's the problem. I'm not calling the police on, but I call police on any motherfucking body that's out of pocket, especially if you ain't did nothing for me to shoot you. See, because I don't need the police for shooting you. I'll call them after I shoot you. But if it's a situation where I can get the police, let them come and let them take care of the situation, because I don't have patience for people, so I don't feel like dealing with them. But it ain't the issue of calling the police on black folks. It's the issue of calling the police on black folks when you're lying and you're making up stories and shit. You're making up crimes, and you put black people's lives in danger, knowing the atmosphere between law enforcement and the black community. That's the issue. So I had no problem with you calling the police. I had no problem with the Asian couple calling the police. They call police, but the time that they calling the police, they're lying to the police saying that they got weapons. They got guns. Lying. Just blatantly lying. See, that's the issue. And don't tell me in the back of your psyche, for some of you people that does this type of shit, calling the police on black folks, it ain't in your psyche telling the police that they're aggressive or they're attacking you or they got a weapon. That ain't going to have the police. You know how the police are. They're going to come in swarming, ready on go mode, because they automatically thinking that it's a violent issue going on. So the person that's calling is being attacked. That's number one in their psyche. Number two, they believe that is a weapon on the scene. So they on paranoid, cautious mode. They automatically gotta get in the mode. We may have to call out his bitch and shoot somebody. That's what they getting their mind worked up of doing. So to all you Kerns and Kevins and shit that does this shit like that, don't tell me you ain't racist and in the back of your mind that you don't understand that that's what you're putting into these police head when you call the police. You know that they unhinged just like you are. What is it? Okay, go ahead in your room. I'm ready to come in a minute. Yeah, I'm ready to come in a minute. What else to finish your game?
Okay.
But that's in, you putting that shit in the back of these police psyches that is some type of criminal shit going on. When all this is about is a dispute over some money of an apartment, or you see somebody black walking through the neighborhood, they suspicious looking. Listen, people get mad at me for saying certain things, man, about other races of people, and they think it's anti-Semitic or I'm being racist towards other people by calling out other people, some people in certain races, of their hypocrisy and bullshit. Like I said, and I'm gonna continue to keep saying this, I ain't trying to hear about no, especially when it comes to black people, no anti-Asian hate. It ain't coming from the black community. We will fuck anybody up. It doesn't matter if you Asian or not. That ain't in our, listen, you might got some stupid ass black people that are like that, but it ain't a lot of black people. It's a, just like they said, it's a couple bad apples. Yes, it's a couple bad apples. That motherfuckers are like that. And believe you me, mostly a lot of them are conservative, stupid black folks that black people from the black community don't fuck with anyway. So ain't no such thing of anti-Asian hate over here on black folks. Don't bring that energy over here with that dumb shit. We don't give a fuck what color skin you are. We will fuck you up. It just is what it is. We may get our ass whipped. It happens. Take a L. But this whole notion that they trying to blow this shit back on black people like it's our issue, it's not our motherfucking issue. Don't try to do reverse psychology on us, motherfucker. Or like we the ones being racist to Asian people. Motherfucker, it's a history of Asian people coming to our communities and treating black people like shit. It's a history of it. And it's racism. Because they like to side with white supremacy in this country. Stop the fuck shit. And I'm not talking about all Asian people. I'm talking about the older generations. They still around. And they have taught some of their kids to be racist. Have motherfuckers ever actually did research in Asia? I mean, in Asia or China? How they treat black folks over there? Are you fucking stupid? Wonder why we ain't marching for you motherfuckers. Fuck out of here. We not marching for you. First, number one, we got our own shit that we dealing with. Our people are still getting gunned down, and these kids are still getting beat and gunned down, and adults getting gunned down in these streets by these fucking race soldiers. The fuck out of here. And let's just be very honest to all the Asian people that you got your panties in the bunch. Some of you motherfuckers that where the black people at to help y'all, and some of you coon ass niggas that's out here buck dancing for these motherfuckers. Fuck you too. Let me just explain something to you. It was not black people. It wasn't a black man. It wasn't Barack Obama in office doing anti-Asian hate when the coronavirus happened. You had a couple of coons in administration or coon-ass Republicans, conservatives, that the black community don't fuck with anyway. Doing that nonsense shit. We denounce them coons anyway. So they don't rock with us. That was Trump, a white man in office, a party, majority white, did that shit. It was some of your own people on national platforms saying racist, anti-shit about the coronavirus, the Chinese virus. That was some of your own people. The fuck out of here. And listen, to the Asian community, fuck y'all, some of y'all, man. You motherfuckers built communities of none but your own people. But you got businesses in the black community and taking advantage of us. The fuck out of here. We don't owe you shit. We don't have to get out and march for you. First of all, you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for our ancestors anyway. How about that shit? We don't owe you shit. You need to stay in your motherfucking lanes and figure out what side you riding with. If you want ride with white supremacy, then ride with them then. But don't come over here trying to tell us that we need to be out there helping y'all. We know how to help y'all do shit. We don't listen, we create our own movements. We ask you to be a part of it. We don't tell you. We ask you to be a part of it. Understand where we coming from. And we create our own movements. How about you create your own motherfucking movement and you get out there and you march? But you know why you won't do it? And this goes for a whole bunch of you other different races of people in this country that want to all of a sudden blame black people for your fucking issues. Listen, none of you motherfuckers are out. Some of you races of different races of people, minority people, are out there starting your own movements and marching. I give the alphabet people their props. They start their own movement. They go out there, they march. It's so much hate going on, anti-hate, Asian hate. Start your movement. And just maybe we'll come out that bitch and support it. We don't have to fucking be backing y'all, start y'all movement for y'all. Fuck out of here. What we look like? We've been doing this shit for decades of marching and fighting for other people, but we still get the end of the stick. But somehow, some way, it's black people. We out there going against the Asian community. Ain't nobody, man, get the fuck out of here, man. The fuck out of here. We ain't got no problems with some. Listen. Black people really at the end of the day, black people don't really got the majority of black people we don't really got a problem with any race of people really like that. A lot of us, the majority of us just want to be left the fuck alone anyway. I wish that we was more like some of y'all different races of people that just stay with our own. I wish we was like that. Because then you can't blame shit on black folks. But no, black people want to go out and be Captain Save nigga and shit. We want to go ahead and save everybody. Because that's who we are as a people. It's a bloodline thing. It goes back to our ancestors in Africa. That's just who we are. We actually give a fuck about people. That's why Jesus couldn't have been white, nigga. How selfish some of you motherfuckers are. Some of you white folks are. And y'all DNA to be nice. Like y'all DNA to be like black people. How kind and open-hearted we are as a people. The fuck out of here. Right there, nigga, red flag right there let you know Jesus wasn't white. You know, these are the same people that make excuses for racism. The fuck out of here, man. Listen, I just want to say, these are the same people that sit here and glorify slave owners, nigga. The fuck out of here. But these are the same people that get mad at us and say, oh my God, I can't believe that you're siding with Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan, he's anti-Semitic. Then they try to blame that capital shit, the black nigga, this mentally disturbed ass nigga, all of a sudden got radicalized. I don't know how the fuck he got radicalized, but anyway, they try to use, because this motherfucker was trying to go through the process of being a Muslim of the Nation of Islam, that somehow that's what Minister Farrakhan teaches. I listen to Minister Farrakhan. I ain't never heard him tell black people to go out and kill other races of people because of the color of their skin. Never heard him say it. I never heard Minister Farrakhan condone black people going out committing violence on anybody. But Trump did. Your so-called forefathers did. They had laws in the books to keep black people as slaves. Fuck out of here with that shit. Don't you ever compare your motherfucking forefathers to Minister Farrakhan. He's better than them. Way better. And I'll be the first person. I don't agree with everything Mr. Farrakhan said, but I ain't never heard Mr. Farrakhan talk about going out committing violence. I ain't never hear him get a whole group of black people and poison their mind and tell them to go run in the state capitol and try to hang motherfuckers, shit and piss and urinate all in the hallways, threaten people. Never heard it. Don't ever compare. You can call Mr. Farrakhan anti-Semitic all you want. I don't give a fuck. Long as you bitches are still in this motherfucking country, still sitting here glorifying the so-called forefathers, these slave owners, and acting like these was great people, nigga, fuck out of here. I love Minister Farrakhan. That's my triple OG. Fuck out of here. You don't get to use brainwash tactics to make me go against my brother because you don't like what he stands for, because he uplifts black people. You claim that you ain't racist. You claim that you like black people, but you don't uplift us. But he does. And I ain't turning my back on Minister Farrakhan for now one of you Negro buck dancing niggas either. Because you want to side with white society. Fuck out of here. White society need to clean their shit up before they start sitting out here talking about Minister Farrakhan, nigga. And just like I said, they continue to always keep speaking about the black community and shit like that. If the black community, what are you worrying about the black community for? It ain't harming nobody in your community. What are you worrying about it for? You don't act like you give a fuck about our people. We done told you, we done gave you steps and policies and shit like that for decades. How to help the black community out. but you still haven't done it. So get the fuck out of here. We don't owe you shit. You don't get to dictate who the fuck we could be a part of or who we associate with. You are the last motherfuckers that any of you races of people in this country, you are the last motherfuckers to tell us who we can associate with. And let's get this straight to the brother Nick Cannon. Listen, I ain't listened to the whole thing, but I'm going to listen to all of it. Listen to me, my brother. Listen, yeah, you got some people call you sellouts. You got extreme black people that call you sellouts. I never called you a sellout. And there's plenty of black people that think like me that don't call you a sellout. You was buck dancing, nigga. You damn sure was doing that. You was samboing, nigga. And you continue to go around and sambo. And when people got to understand something about Nick Cannon too. Nick Cannon was always a corny nigga anyway. Okay? He was always a little corny dude. But I respected Nick because Nick didn't try to act like he was so gangster. I like motherfuckers like that. You be yourself. That's why I got respect for Nick. And I think he's an intelligent, good brother. But he was doing a lot of buck dancing for these motherfucking some of these Jewish people. And you ain't got no reason to do that. If you felt like you had to apologize, you apologize. That's it. If they can't accept the fucking apology, so well, what the fuck am I apologizing for? If you're not going to accept my apology, what am I apologizing for? Think about that the next time, my people. When a motherfucker say, well, the person just should have apologized. If I apologize, are you going to accept it? If you're not, well, what the fuck am I apologizing for? Because I need to mean it. And I'm not going to mean it if I don't think that we're going to get some type of understanding. I know it takes a minute for you to get over what I'm saying, but don't ask me for an apology yet. If it's going to take you a minute to get over something, don't apologize. To the brother Nick, I don't question the brother Nick commitment to the black community. I don't question that. I'm not questioning your blackness, but I'm damn sure questioning your judgment of how you've been buck dancing and samboing to some of these motherfucking to the Jewish community the way you have. It's bullshit. Some of these Jewish people are insulting the black people all the time, but somehow these motherfuckers supposed to get a pass all the time. They're acting like, oh, they the only one went through a Holocaust or something. Motherfucker, our motherfucking people lived in slavery. In our own country, you live in a country where we was the slaves. And you come in here, some of these Jewish people come in here and sit there pretending that they more victims than us. And I don't believe, listen, as black people, once we understand how we got victimized and we work on ourselves to do better and help our people, we're not victims anymore. We got victimized, but we're not victims anymore. And that's not a good look to be a victim. Nothing strong about it, nothing respected about it. You just walk around with victimhood on you all the time. No, but we will call the fucking bullshit out. We will call the people that victimize people out and stand up to them. We don't owe no other race in this country no more. If we do something wrong, we said something wrong, and we did something wrong to you, yes, we should apologize. But if you're not going to accept the apology, there's no reason for me to apologize. And if I apologize to you one time, I'm not going to continue to go around and keep apologizing. Some people are going to accept your apology and some are not. And that just is what it is. You don't got to go on no motherfucking no apology tour. You'll show everybody. I love the Jewish people. You look like a fucking house nigga. That's what you look like, Nick. I'm sorry, Master. I didn't mean it, Master. I apologize for what I said, Master. I need more education, Master. It's a damn shame we live in this type of country. I never seen a bunch of sometimes scary ass black people. I never seen. Listen, man. Like I said, man. Y'all motherfuckers need to. A lot of black folks need to get out of this mold that we need to fit in. We don't have to fit into nothing, motherfucker. We are the trend. We are the culture. They talking about cancel culture. We are the culture. Listen, everybody, other races bring other things to culture and stuff like that because they got their own little culture and shit. But in America, we are the culture. We make shit hot. We make shit popping. We can take a lame ass idea that somebody else created and make it popular. That's how creative we are as a people. That's how special we are. Look what we did. Look how uncomfortable some of these white folks are. Look how agitated they get when we took a word, the N-word, and switched that bitch to something positive for us. Our embracement. To where now they're so angry that they can't say the motherfucking word. They mad they can't even say the word with the A at the end. They mad about that. See, we don't understand our strengths and our weaknesses. You had the brother, that's the new North Carolina head coach. This motherfucker up there, Sam Bowen. Nobody asked him about his white wife. This motherfucker, I'm proud to have a white wife. Okay, nigga, who gives a fuck? We're talking about you being the first black head coach of North Carolina. The fuck your white wife had to do this? Had to do with this? Nothing. She supported you. Okay, she loved you. All right. Why you just say my wife? You got to include white people like they need to be included so they don't feel, you know, these Negroes out here. See, this is why you have brothers like Dr. Umar Johnson. I think that's his last name. I could be messing that up, but I think it's Dr. Umar Johnson. This is why you have brothers like this that the people call extreme, too pro-black people that says shit like, anytime you see black people or black men or black women with white spouts, you're no good for me. Because your wife, if that was the case, you should have just had your wife sitting up there next to you and you ain't had to speak on her being white. She was out in the audience, or she may wasn't even there. She was behind the scenes watching. But that was about you, brother. That was about our people. You had to include everybody else. You just can't do nothing for your own people. It's just us. The first black man or person, it could have been a woman, but first black person to be a head coach of North Carolina. It couldn't just be about us. You got to include everybody, include your white wife. Nobody gives a fuck about her being white. But like I told you about some of these people, and it's not all of them, but a lot of these black motherfuckers are very, very insecure. And they feel the animosity that black people, it comes from us, that these niggas out here dating these white motherfuckers. They feel it. They know that, listen, as much as we don't really condone that shit really like that, I mean, part of me, I don't like it, but I don't really give a fuck. To each his own. Love is love, nigga. Do you. But I think it comes with more problems than you already have. Comes with extra problems when you dating outside your race, my opinion. But to each his own that does that shit. But see, that be the problem with why black people feel the way we feel. Niggas go too far and extra for their white counterparts, but they won't do that for their black counterparts. You won't go out your way for your black wife. I ain't never heard no motherfucker go up there and say, and I'm very proud of my black wife. No. But you had to make it an issue. Nobody made it an issue, but he did. Sometimes black people does this shit to themselves. Some of these black fools do this shit to themselves. There's no reason for him to do none of that shit, to say none of that dumb shit he said. He was until he said that. Now everybody like, look at this nigga, man. It's almost like an embarrassment. Black people, sometimes certain black people embarrass you. They be on TV and they just do some shit. You like, oh, this nigga, come on, man. God damn, it's just an embarrassment. The fuck is he doing? Like, what's up with your man? Like, you know what I mean? What's up with your man's in there? Salute the DMX, man. Like, this your man's in there. The fuck he doing? Niggas want to fit in so bad with some of these white folks, and it's sad to me, man. Be yourself. All right, you got a mixed family, nigga. Okay, cool. Your white wife get all the praises in the world, nigga. Her skin complexion makes her have an advantage over your black ass, and you out here trying to praise her for what? Now, if it was the first woman or something doing something, then I get it. Or she was the first white woman to do something. I get it. It was about you and your people, our people. But no, you wanted to make this about white women. Your white wife. The fuck out of here, man. Black people, like, we need to calm down on that fucking trying to be a part of shit and giving a fuck about what people think and not giving. We give a fuck about more about other people than our own people, and that's why we continue to be the laughingstock of this country. That's why they continue to harass, abuse us, call the police on us, disrespect us in our face with our kids there, fucking with our kids, putting handcuffs on 5-6-year-old kids. Come on, man. Come on, man. See how easy it was for mainstream media to turn this whole anti-Asian shit on black people when we didn't start it. And there been plenty of videos where black people didn't smack the shit out or beat the fuck up a Chinese person, but that wasn't anti-Asian hate. The dude that beat the shit out of the Asian dude in New York City on the subway. What they didn't tell you was that motherfucker was calling the black brother a nigga. And that's why he whipped his ass. But they didn't tell you that shit. But it's black people, anti-Asian hate, that's on us now. But see how they can turn a narrative on us? Because it's part of our own fucking fault. We will not just stay on code with us. Like, just do us. Block. Yeah. Yeah, shut the store. I'm going to call in a minute, okay? All right. She missed her mother and shit. She woke up. My wife was already at the store. And so she ain't been a couple of hours. So that's how she is and shit. Like, she don't give a fuck about me when I wake up. I mean, when she wake up. Like, I get up and I be gone to work or something. And she probably don't give a fuck about me till like later on in the day. Like, where daddy at or something. But my wife, she wake up, she goes straight to trying to find my wife before she try to find me. But that's cool. I ain't jealous or nothing. You know what I mean? You know, my time will come. But yeah, but that comes from black people. A lot of black people, we don't work. We need to worry about ourselves. We keep worrying about having other people involved in shit and just not focusing on us. And so when we don't do that, we lose camaraderie with one another. We don't have respect for ourselves. We have more respect for other people, but then other than ourselves. We go our way to help other people. We won't do it for our own, and that's part of the problem. That's why they get to do a lot of this shit. That's why they get to turn narratives of anti-Asian hate on black folks. Because black folks would have, you seen them niggas. They was coming out there, some of those motherfuckers on mainstream TV, some of these niggas, yeah, and stop the anti-Asian hate, man. Get the fuck out of here. Can you see that they was changing the narrative onto us? Why the fuck Trump was doing this shit for almost a whole year? A whole year he was doing that shit. Anti-Asian hate shit. They weren't even speaking on that shit. They were saying they were talking about a lot of hate crimes was going up on the Asian folks, but they weren't out here talking about this shit a whole bunch on mainstream media like that. Because you know why? Because black people stayed on code and we was worrying about what the fuck we was worrying about because we know we ain't had nothing to do with that. Sometimes we need to mind our own motherfucking business. How about that shit? That wasn't our beef. That wasn't nothing that we had nothing to do with. This shit. It's proof. It's facts of what I'm saying. I'm telling you. Majority of the time. Here and there you might get a motherfucking Sambo ass nigga that get out there and do that conservative hating on other people for their race. You see that Sambo shit. But like I said, I got proof. Like I said, that one proof of it is that shit happened in New York. How they switched that shit around, try to act like that brother just beat him up because he was Asian. It was bullshit. He beat him up because of the simple fact and whipped his ass, knocked his ass out because of the simple fact they called him a nigga. That's really what that is. He beat the dog shit out of him for calling him a nigga, and that's what his ass deserved. He lucky. Listen, man, some people can walk away from that shit. Some people can't. Some people take that shit, calling them the N-word. It's almost like spitting on them. I know I take it that way. We fighting, nigga. Listen, I've told you. You ain't gonna get in my face and say that shit. You gonna be a distance. But these motherfuckers are bold and they say it in your face. They's like daring you to whip their ass. So hey, whip that ass. And like I said, a lot of times you gotta think about when they out there calling black people niggas and shit, a lot of times children are around. Children are around, black children are around, white children are around, whatever race, children are around. And you making that shit seem like it's okay. I'm not whipping you. I'm not whipping. If I whip your ass for calling me a nigga, and my child is around, I'm not whipping your ass because of me. I'm whipping because you disrespect my child. That's why I'm whipping your ass. You got a nerve to call. You basically calling my motherfucking kid a nigga. So it's on. I don't even call my motherfucking kid a nigga. Come here, little nigga. I don't be doing no shit like that. Fuck out of here. So I'll be damned if I let somebody call me a motherfucking nigga in front of my kid. Fuck out of here, man. And you ain't black? Fuck out of here, man. But we're like, well, you use the word around your kid. That's my kid. I can do that. I'm black. I can do that. You don't like it that black people have a little privilege. You don't like that shit. That hurts your heart. That hurts your feelings. That fuck your life up, right? Listen, man. A lot of shit we deal with in this country is for black folks. We need to get on code, man. We need to stop. We need to stop with this motherfucking trying to help everybody else out. If they with us, they with us. If they not, they not. Fuck them. That's how we gotta move now. We can't be waiting on these motherfuckers because, you know what I mean? Like I said, when we need help, we down there be out there got beg for their help. They don't just say, you know what, it's right. Let's go out there and help them out. They do none of that shit. They don't do a motherfucking thing like that. That's what I said. Listen, LT, I said that shit. Motherfuckers gotta stop. Listen, if they want to try to switch this shit around, act like black people against them, well, we need to stop supporting their shit. That goes for any other race. That goes for the Mexicans, the Puerto Ricans, all you motherfuckers, man. Some of you motherfucking Jamaicans or whoever, Kenyan motherfuckers, you want to come over here and be on that anti-black shit against black people? Hey, fuck you. We won't support y'all ass either. Fuck out of here. And if you own a business, you got the right to not hire somebody because they ain't qualified. And they ain't the type of speed that you want around you. I believe in, black people shouldn't be, black people should own a lot of their own shit. So a lot of times I don't even get mad that white people don't hire black people like that in their organizations and shit. We should be putting our money together to build our own motherfucking businesses so we ain't got to worry about it. Fuck out of here, man. We so motherfucking dependent on these motherfucking these white organizations to be there to help us out, man. We lost respect of like, nigga, we need to do some of this shit on our own. I don't like to do. Listen, man. I don't like to talk bad about people, man. But sometimes I'm not gonna sit back and let you shit on my people. And I don't give a fuck if you black. If you black and you shitting on our people, if you sell out ass coon, I'm gonna shit on you. I'm gonna speak up for my people. We ain't got time. Life is too motherfucking short. We ain't got time to be sitting there bullshitting around with these people anymore. And like I said, the number one issue I had with a lot of these people, they always asking black people to go out and do something for them. Create your own shit. We create our own motherfucking movements. And like I said, a lot of times I'm happy that we start our own movements, but black people, we need to start coming together to get together and build our own business. When you out there and you marching this shit, you don't know half of those motherfucking black people out there. Get those same black people and say, hey man, let's get together and do some business. That's what you need to be doing. You have all thousands of black people out there marching. Get thousands of black people at an event, get their information, and so all your guys can get together and learn about each other and try to build businesses in the communities. I appreciate the movement and the marches, man, but we need to build. Huh?
Go, mommy.
Okay, all right, I'm going to call her. Let me get out of here, people. I'll see y'all later on tonight, man. Let me attend to her. Plus, I need to cut my hair and shit, so let me attend to her real quick. And I'll take outside for a little bit. I'll get back with y'all probably around maybe about 7 to 8 o'clock, maybe. It ain't gonna be no later than 8. So we'll probably do a 3-hour, 4-hour show tonight. So make sure you guys tune in, let everybody know somebody to tell somebody to get up in the building tonight. But about no later than 8. I may start a little earlier, like 7. It all depends how much I get done. But I see y'all later on, man. It's your boy Kenny, man. Peace and love to the world.
Do you have an opinion? Do you want to be heard? Are you coming with real talk? Do you want to have an open and honest conversation? Opinions, but facts is where it's at. Ran by our man Kenny. Nothing's off the table. Sports, real life, politics, and everything in between. Join the most interactive channel. Real talk from real people, keeping it 100. Be heard. Don't let your voice go silent.